Hello everyone, I'm Lucas Santa Ana. I have an interest in Filipino issues because I believe this generation needs to know more about the West Philippine Sea. Why is this important to us? Why should our generation care about what's going on in the West Philippine Sea? With me today is Professor Aries Arugay, Chairperson of the Department of Political Sciences in the University of the Philippines.
Get out! Get out!
Hello, Professor Arugay. So, what is the value of the West Philippine Sea to us Filipinos?
At the moment, the West Philippine Sea is extremely valuable to every Filipino of the present and perhaps future generations on many reasons. No? First and foremost, if you would look at our Constitution, the 1987 Constitution, it indicates there that part of our territory is the maritime zone that is, of which is included the West Philippine Sea. This has been reinforced by international law, primarily the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, or sometimes we call it UNCLOS. Pero apart from the fact that this is part of our territory, marami ring benepisyo yung West Philippine Sea. No? Unang-una, around 80% of global trade goes through the West Philippine Sea and the larger South China Sea. Second, we depend on the West Philippine Sea for our fishing and seafood and the food that you enjoy very much. No? Around 20% of that is harvested in the West Philippine Sea. Third, in terms of possible energy sources. No? Ngayon, nakakaramdam tayo minsan ng brownout, nakakaramdam tayo ng sinasabihan tayo magtipid ng kuryente because yung source natin of energy, one primary source, yung Malampaya gas plant, mauubusan na siya. And our scientists recently discovered, perhaps a few decades ago, na sa Reed Bank, which is part of the West Philippine Sea, merong proven oil and natural gas reserves. So, sa mga batang katulad mo, if you want to enjoy na walang brownouts, that you can still use power, electricity, and darating ang panahon, kayo rin yung magbabayad ng kuryente, you want lower power rates and the energy that could be possibly sourced from the West Philippine Sea is critical. No? And I think finally, napakagandang lugar nitong West Philippine Sea. In fact, sa kasawiang palad, not a lot of Filipinos are able to go travel, to be tourists, to enjoy yung wonderful beaches. We were told that some of the beautiful beaches are in the West Philippine Sea. So sa tingin ko, importante rin to because ito yung may iwan ng henerasyon namin sa inyo that you're able to enjoy the beauty and the splendor of your country as citizens. And hopefully, gagawin nyo rin yun sa iba pang future generations.
Good. So like the West Philippine Sea is truly like a large player in our economy and in our infrastructure, as you mentioned. And you mentioned actually earlier the South China Sea. So I just wanted to ask, what is the difference between the West Philippine Sea and the South China Sea?
Right. Alam mo, Lucas, minsan napagpapalit ng mga tao. No? But supposedly before, maybe since 2011, it was simply called the South China Sea. And if you would look at maps, if you would look at news stories, hindi pa naman nagagamit yung term na WPS. No? But because of actions by China, no? Starting, I think we could trace all the way back to 1995. No? Karamihan sa mga henerasyon yun, hindi pa pinapanganak noon. No? Malamang, nagkaroon tayo ng hindi magandang encounter with China on what we were claiming to be part of our territory and our exclusive economic zone. Ito yung Mischief Reef. No? And after that, naging continuous yung Chinese, sabihin na nating incursions. No, into our territorial waters tsaka exclusive economic zone. No? Magkaiba yun. Pag territorial water kasi, ibig sabihin, that's part of our territory. Pag EEZ naman, o yung tinatawag natin exclusive economic zone, we don't necessarily have sovereignty, but we have what we call, according to our international lawyers, sovereign rights. Exclusive sovereign rights. Ibig sabihin, we can allow other countries, other entities to use and to somehow benefit from our exclusive economic zone, but they need permission from us. No? Parang ang sinasabi ng UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, yung exclusive economic zone, para yung alagaan nyo to ha, so sa inyo nagpapaalam, kasi supposedly, these maritime zones need to be protected also. No? So, noong 2011, the government during that time, headed by the late former president, then President Benigno Simeon Aquino, decided to use the term West Philippine Sea. Because minsan nasasabi, South China Sea yan, ibig sabihin sa China yan. Kaya lang Lucas, pag ganun, ibig sabihin, India owns the entire Indian Ocean. No? Yung Celebes Sea will be owned by Indonesia, na part yung Celebes Island. So, part of our resolve to continue asserting what is ours, no? Our government decided to come up with the term West Philippine Sea. However, unlike China, who almost claims, in fact, its entirety, no? Yung South China Sea, yung tinatawag nilang 9-dash line, no? Na recently naging 10-dash line na, nadagdagan ng isang dash sa may Taiwan, no? Importante that the Philippines assert or claim and ensure that the world knows that it is not simply, no, telling the world na okay, China, since it's named South China Sea, it's China's, no? So this is part of our assertiveness, no, to claim what is ours by right, no? Not by might, ha? By right, and by right, ibig sabihin our own domestic law and international law. So kung titignan sa mapa, yung West Philippine Sea, hindi yan yung 9-dash line, hindi sila pareho. Hindi ito yung kiniklaim din ng China, no? This is a portion, no? But what counts as the West Philippine Sea is yung what is provided for by international law, primarily by UNCLOS. We signed and ratified, no, UNCLOS, no, and we made it part of our national maritime policy, no, that we follow UNCLOS. Other countries, since UN convention siya, no, pumirma din sila sa UNCLOS, including China. Para sa kanila, yung kanilang ancient maps, no, ang basihan nila, of which they claim na wala pang UN noon, wala pang UNCLOS noon, no? Amin na to.